Ciao Juventini of the world, my name is Giuseppe, welcome back on the channel, I hope you're all doing well. We are Thursday, 2 days before the last game of Juventus, and I know how difficult the season was, but I will tell you the truth. From the moment that we will play our last game, from that moment, I will be sad. I will be sad because we will have to wait until mid-August before the start again of Serie A. That's really long. From May until August, mamma mia. What we will speak about during that time, it is Mercato, because the results of 21-22 were absolutely not great. Juventus is trying to change the team. Revolution, more than rejuvenation. This time it will be revolution. So remain on the channel. Let's subscribe to the channel. Try to reach that 18,000 followers, 18,000 Juventini on the channel. Put a maximum of like. That's the only thing I'm asking you. We start immediately after the intro. Before speaking about all the news of Italian papers and inside the Italian papers like Paul Pogba, like Weston McKennie, I know that it will break the heart of a lot of people, especially the one based in USA, the first country that is watching the channel. Before speaking about the new name for our midfield, not Sergio Milinkovic-Savic, but Jorginho, that is coming back and linked again with Juventus, we have to speak about a few rush news, starting with Andrea Agnelli, president of Juventus today for 12 years. 12 years, and this is something incredible. I know that at the moment a part of the Juventini are not happy with what Andrea Agnelli is doing, with the role of Andrea Agnelli. I know that a lot of controversy, but it remains that Andrea Agnelli in my heart, but also if I'm thinking logically, is the best president that we could ever had. I remember you that he took the presidency of Juventus when he was only 34. My friends, I don't know how much of you could do what he did from his 34 years old, taking Juventus in a real difficult moment. I remember you, we came from Serie B, we finished 2 times 7th in a row in Serie A. What he did with Juventus was incredible. 19 trophies, 9 times Serie A, 5 Supercoppa, 5 Coppa Italia, 2 times in Champions League final, even if we didn't win it. He brought us Cristiano Ronaldo and even more. My friends, a lot of respect for Andrea Agnelli. Then that doesn't mean that he never made any mistake in his life. He did, like everyone, but this is actually when you are daring something. The only one that are never doing mistakes are the ones that are not trying something and just hiding. Let's continue with other rush news, like the birthday of Andrea Pirlo that today is doing 43 years. What an honor to have had Andrea Pirlo for 4 years as a player. He was designing, he was drawing magia. If we are thinking about magic, Andrea Pirlo, he started with that amazing assist for Liechtenstein, the beautiful start of 9 Scudetto in a row. What a man, what a player, what a honor to have Andrea Pirlo in our team. Not only that, because he did 1 year as a coach and he won 2 cups. Grande Andrea, always a beautiful memory of Andrea Pirlo. And we continue with also a beautiful news for Juventus Women, that on Sunday will play the last game of the season as well, but this time they will play for a cup, for the Italian Cup versus Roma, wishing them the best. But today we announced also that Sophie Pedersen renewed until 2023, and that's an amazing news because she is the brain in that midfield. Speaking about Pirlo, we have to speak about Pedersen for the women. She's the brain. She's also drawing calcio with a beautiful vision. Super happy for the one that scored the first official Juventus goal in our Allianz Stadium versus Fiorentina, the team that we will face, the men team that we will face on Saturday for our last game. And now we start with the Mercato news, because that's what the Italian papers are speaking about. Corriere dello Sport, Pogba è la scelta. Pogba is the choice. There are no doubts anymore about it. Pogba is the one that Juventus have chosen. Why? Also because Sergio Milinkovic-Savic is costing too much. He was a real objective of Juventus. We will not lie about that, but Lotito is asking too much. Will I repeat everything what I was saying? No, because you already know it. We continue with Tutto Sport. We speak putting 2 people on the front page. On the left side, they are putting Paul Labil Pogba already with the new shirt of Juventus. What a beautiful image. And then on the right side of the paper, Paulo Dybala with the Inter shirt, the one of 21-22, already with the Scudetto. Let's see if they will have the Scudetto after the last game of Serie A that they are fighting versus Milan or not. And they are saying Pogba is already wearing Juve. Paulo Dybala has already a house in Inter. Speaking about that news, of Paulo Dybala. Paulo Dybala, he wants to remain in Italy and he wants to play Champions League. He would consider going abroad only if there are no open doors in Italy. We know that that Inter is really trying for the player. They already started the discussion long time ago. The Argentinian player could go to Inter more and more. Pay attention to that news. He apparently already has both a house in Milan because he loves the city there. Let's follow that up to see where Paulo Dybala will go, or if he will keep his promise that he did in the stadium, saying I will never go to Inter. Coming back to Juve and the one that could be there in 22-23, we continue speaking about Paul Pogba, that yesterday on Instagram was doing a beautiful marketing stunt, also inventing a new skill with a ball that he gave a strange name. But yesterday what was really funny was to see Paul Pogba wearing black and white again, and every time that we see Paul Pogba putting black and white, we are already dreaming of having him in our team. But pay attention to social media, because you remember Karim Benzema playing with a Juve ball. Pay attention, my friends. Don't get too excited. Perisic still waiting until at the end of the season. He's not happy with Inter, so let's see what will happen there. Apparently he's really far away from renewing with Inter. Where will he go? Will it be Juventus? Let's see. Di Maria, and that's the only time we will speak about Di Maria in this video, because we have a lot of other names to speak about. So maximum of like, continue to subscribe to the channel if you love what I'm trying to offer you. Di Maria is a player that is resisting, and that could be one of the first players announced by Juventus. But it's not only buying, it's also selling, because we can't have 153 players in our team, and that's why Cherubini is in England. He is in London at the moment. By the way, for our UK fans that are the second country that are following the channel, if you see Cherubini, do a selfie with him and tell him Cherubini, Cherubini. He's there alone in London at the moment because he's trying to sell Arthur to Arsenal and Moisken to understand where he can go. Maybe there is an option to go to West Ham. Two players that were part in 21-22 of Juventus that didn't kept their promise and didn't perform as we were expecting. Two players that could go there, but also because Arthur, for example, could be linked to another player, a swap, and the name Gabriel is coming back more and more linking to Juventus. We are looking for a center back, the center back of the future. We already analyzed a few players that Rudiger, Bremer, and so on, not possible for Juve. So Gabriel could be the left-footed player that could be next to De Ligt next season, not immediately as a starter, but a great player that, for a lot of similarities with Chiellini, is remembering as a bit our ex-Capitano that will still play his last game versus Fiorentina. A lot of you that are following also Arsenal told me, Beppe, pay attention because he's not that great. I will be honest, at the moment, I don't really know about Gabriel. So you are the expert on that one. We continue with Gazzetta dello Sport. We're speaking about Leao, costing 100 million euro now. What a big value. PSG that is about to lose Mbappe is on the player, but Milan wants to resist. But we are interested on the lower part of the paper with Jorginho. Juventus is also on Jorginho. Not only on Jorginho, but in addition to Pogba. Of course, you can't just have, as I told you, 153 players. So what is actually the thing is that Cherubini is in London to understand the situation. What is the value? You are speaking about 30 million euro from Chelsea. It could be a solution to have Locatelli as a regista, the one that we are looking for since so long, where a lot of players failed at the moment. Maybe with a Miretti there, learning from Jorginho, learning that role, with Pogba on the left, with Locatelli on the right, or swapping them. Let's see. And then we have a Locatelli as a box-to-box. Too many players. What about Zakaria? Zakaria should remain. He will remain. We just bought him as a box-to-box on the right side, but the one that could leave is Weston McKennie. Weston McKennie, I know you will be sad, my friend, because we love the boy. He's a great guy. He also showed that he's progressing a lot, that he's learning a lot, and that he's also showing that he can play under Allegri. But at a certain moment, as I'm telling you since a lot of months, McKennie is probably the only one in that midfield that can bring us some cash. And that's why OneFootball was reporting, pay attention, Tottenham is there, Juventus they would love to keep McKennie, but if they receive a great offer, for example 40 million for the American boy, for Texas boy, they could even consider to sell him. And that's what Nicolas Kira was reporting, the same words, that we are on Gabriel, but pay attention, Jorginho could be a possibility for Juventus if another midfielder is leaving on top of Arthur and Ramsey. Ramsey that yesterday played the final of Europa League, he was the one that entered at the 118th minute to play these penalties, to give experience in shooting that penalty. Is the only one that missed the penalties. It is what it is, guys. Arnautovic has been linked to Juve, yes, because don't forget that if Vlahovic is on the bench or he need to rest or whatever, we have nobody. Morata is not the player that can replace him, and we saw it in the beginning of the season. Arnautovic, for a small fee, could be that bench player that is happy to be on the bench and to give his contribution and try to win some trophy. Why not? Yesterday we heard bad news, and when you're telling me, my friends, that I always agree with Juventus, in that case I have to say that I don't understand the logic of swapping Rugani and Acerbi. That's what Sport Media said was reporting. I tell you that Sport Media said it's not the most reliable source, but it's not the only one that is speaking about it. Also, OneFootball, also Alfredo Pedula, they were reporting that it is nearly a done deal. Swap between Rugani going to Lazio and we take Acerbi. Absolutely not as the starter, because the starter will be Bonucci. Let's see. I at the moment don't understand that deal. Maybe the only reason that I have is that maybe negotiating between Rugani and Acerbi would bring Juventus closer to Lazio, trying to find an excuse to start talking and continue to talk about Sergej Milinkovic-Savic. That's the only possibility and good news I see in that swap. Otherwise, I don't understand it. And I finish with the last news of today. Speaking already about that last game of the season, Fiorentina versus Juve, we could see again for the 4th consecutive time in Serie A, Miretti playing. Miretti that is fighting really hard to win his confirmation in the squad of 22-23. He showed it already with 3 great performances and will try to show it again. Ake that probably will not stay with the first team next season. Probably will go on loan or maybe sold to have a bit of cash in. He will probably also start. He already played 1 game versus Fiorentina as a starter in an unusual 3-5-2 where he didn't play that great because he had to track back a lot, and we know that he's an offensive player. Maybe this time he will have the possibility to take revenge and show the world that he's still a quality player, a great player. Let's see. My friends, I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you did everything that you had to do. Notifications, subscribing, liking the channel. And don't forget, support Juventus and don't miss any videos because we are in hot hours. Grazie, forza, Juve.